Hello, welcome. This is our last speaker presentation for 2024, and we really wanted to go out with a joyous bang, so that's what we're going to do today. We have two different components, okay, to the presentation today. The first part is going to be my friend and Vice Chair of the Health and Wellness Committee, Trish Burkes, and she is going to present what is called a vision board. And it's a very creative way to try to collect your thoughts and ideas for the coming year and to create a board that will allow you then to remind yourself of what you were thinking about and what you might want to accomplish over that year. And when Trish first introduced the concept at one of our meetings, she told us that she had presented the project when she was working as a social worker at Quantico with Marines who had sustained spinal cord injuries. And she had said, well, they didn't really have an option to make a vision board or not, because they had to make one. So she was very excited about this concept because people are actually coming because they want to do it, not because they were ordered to. So she will present the idea today, and then on January 16th, we're going to come back here to the community center and have a workshop where you can start working on your vision board, and I think that's at 2:30.
I believe it's at 2.
2 to 3:30.
Yes.
So if you like the concept, please come back for that. We'll have the supplies for you to get started, and if you want to bring any special supplies, and she'll go over some of those things that we won't have available, but you could pick up if you were interested in doing them. Okay. And then we're going to follow the presentation with a holiday sing-along, which another one of my favorite Health and Wellness Committee members, Elizabeth Wiley, okay, is going to lead with her friends, Marie and Daniel Rapier. And then Marty Pock is going to accompany them on guitar. So we have the music printed out for you. No one has to audition, and no one has to even sing on key, but you do have to sing. So we look forward to that part too. So I'm just going to turn it over to Trish so that we can get started. And again, thank you so much for coming today.
Yes, thank you for coming, and thank you for indulging. One of my favorite traditions for the year is to make a vision board. And it doesn't have to be just for the coming year. You can make a vision board if there's any big lifestyle change, like Margaret, you just had a move. Maybe before you left Florida, you were thinking, I wonder what it's going to be like in Virginia. How can I recreate myself? How can I do a self-assessment and kind of hone in on what my values are? What do I want to change? So a little bit about myself. My dad was Air Force. He was Army Air Corps before the Air Force even got formed. He was a World War II vet. And I can't talk about vision boards and inspiration without thinking about him, because he was manifesting all these visions and dreams up until the day he died. He lived to 98. He was traveling to Alaska. Even when he couldn't drive his motorhome anymore, he would plan every year where we're going, who's going to drive him, and he couldn't drive himself. It was just great to see that the gusto that he had, the zest for life. He was always trying new things. So that's kind of one of the concepts that I want to present, and I hope you'll get excited about it like I am every year. Now, I typically will do vision boards with my daughter, my sisters. If we can't get together, then we'll do a vision board via Zoom, and that's another option for you to consider. You don't have to do it, like I said, at the beginning of a year, but I really like that because it's like a fresh start, and I think it's more powerful than any New Year's resolution that you could even think of, and you never meet them, right? So how many of you have had or done a vision board? Okay, all right. Two people? Nobody else. So you may have set your New Year's resolutions or written down your goals, your dreams, your hopes. And so what I hope to do today is not only to introduce you to the ways you can do a vision board, but also to kind of inspire you to get creative about your dreams, to really do some self-reflection and think about, what do you like about your life? Are you stuck? Do you want to make some changes? There are some things that we can definitely influence and some things we can't. So today I did bring some past vision boards, but it doesn't have to be a board like this. It can actually be a digital. A lot of people prefer to download and collect and gather digital images and words that are inspiring. They can use it, you probably do this already, but putting it on your phone or your social media, pictures that really inspire you and kind of capture what you like about your life or what you want to have happen. Maybe it's a trip that you want to take. Maybe it's going to see somebody you haven't seen in a while. So really, I want you to open up your mind to new possibilities. So I invite you to do that. And we do have some worksheets that we're going to look at in a minute to just try to get you started. So one of the things that I want to introduce you to is the concept of how do you get motivated, okay? So are you motivated by intrinsic or external factors? Your motivation, if it's intrinsic, it looks like this. It's something internal. It's something that gives you joy or satisfaction, something inherently enjoyable for you. Fun is a good example. Do you read a book for enjoyment, or is it more like an extrinsic factor where you're reading a book to maybe get a grade if you were in school, or maybe to your book club is kind of put that assignment on you and you're like, I don't really want to read this, but I have to. So that would be more an external factor, extrinsic motivation. We have to have both, okay, that's just part of life. If we have a job, then intrinsic might be finding a job that you enjoy. Extrinsic might be you need the money, so you've got to try to strive to get promoted so that you can get those performance evaluations. So exercising to relieve stress or just to have fun? What do you guys do for fun? I want to hear.
Well, it's not exercise.
No, me neither, unless you consider like kayaking. That's about the biggest thing. But Emily, you like to swim, right? Is that for fun or is that for?
That's for exercise too. It's actually walking in the water.
Okay,
And
so
a
walking
little
around
swimming.
at Powell and getting that activity. But do you enjoy it or is it more like
Yes,
you have to?
I do.
Okay, that's good. All right, what are some other things that you like to do for fun? I want to hear.
Horseback riding.
Yeah, horseback riding.
Working horses.
Awesome,
That's fun and good exercise.
nice. Margaret?
Well, I like to ride my bicycle, but there's no place to ride here.
We're going to work on that, finding.
I got my three-wheel bike sitting in the garage.
Great. And I have 2 bikes sitting in my garage. So Margaret's my new neighbor, and I met her across the ways, and I was talking to her like, welcome to the neighborhood, and happy to have a neighbor back there. And then I go to yoga class, and I'm like, husband, that name sounds familiar. And I was like, wait a minute, are you my neighbor? So it's been
Gentle
great.
yoga we take on Wednesday.
Yes, and
like
we
it.
love gentle yoga, we definitely do. I encourage y'all to check it out. It's not strenuous, we don't hurt ourselves, we just stretch and we feel good afterwards. So we do that yoga because we feel good after it, right? We don't do it to go hook up with a date or anything like that. We're not trying to,
We have to encourage each other. We're all around
Yeah.
the same age and we got to help
Right.
each other get up and.
Exactly, and I couldn't get up off the floor before I started taking that class. I literally got down to my pantry and I was like, I'm stuck down here, oh my gosh, I have to crawl like a baby. So yoga has really helped open up that. So one of the things about intrinsic versus extrinsic, especially when you're looking at your motivation for your year or for your vision board, is you definitely need both. You want to kind of balance, but you actually need more intrinsic things because this is about you. This is your board. This should be something that you enjoy. It gives you joy and pleasure and giddiness and happiness. So really, I want you to be thoughtful when you're doing those worksheets about that and think about, is that something I'm doing because I want to impress somebody? And maybe it's somebody you want. I mean, I like pleasing my husband. I like making him proud of me. So that's a little bit different, but don't do things just because it's about somebody else, okay? So another thing I wanted to share, sorry. Another thing I want to share is we were going to talk about motivation and inspiration. So what do you think that motivation has to come from somewhere? And sometimes, like in Weight Watchers, what do they say? So anybody who's been in Weight Watchers, what do they say about your motivation? Do you remember? It's your why. What is your why? Why do you want to lose weight in Weight Watchers? So your vision board. Why? What do you want to accomplish? What do you have your goal to be? So how do you get motivated? One of the ways you can start is by looking at being inspired and opening up your mind to possibilities. And positive thinking has a lot of power. I did a vision board one time all about, I want a house on the water, I want a house on the water. Here's a picture of a house on the water. Here's a picture of the water. Well, my basement flooded, so I was like, okay, I have to be careful what I'm asking for and how I ask about it, because that's not exactly the house on the water I was dreaming of. But you know, really thinking about places you want to go and things you want to see and things you want to do. Where does that motivation come from? It should come from personal satisfaction and joy. Sometimes we get stuck. Life hands us a bunch of lemons, and we're just like, ugh. I'm in a rut, I want to change, but you know, how am I going to make that happen? So that's where inspiration can really be important, finding what inspires you. And so I wanted to share with you a couple ways that I find inspiration. And being a social worker, I can tell you one thing. There's been a few times burnout has been like right there. But things like Julia Cameron, have you ever heard of her? Anybody?
Yes.
All right. Have you read her books? This is just one of them. She's got 50 books out. And they're all about unleashing your creative power, getting creative, your creative self. So 2 things that Julia Cameron recommends in all of her books are 2 habits to nurture and foster. One is morning pages. Morning pages are it's a word dump. It's a mind dump. You do it the first thing in the morning. You're journaling, you're writing. Nobody's going to read it. Doesn't have to be perfect. You can be sloppy. You're writing anything that comes to mind. It can be your grocery list. It could be, you know, like things that bothered you. Now I got to share one of the things. I had a dream that I didn't realize that I had dreamed about 10 years ago. So I had written that in my morning pages, and typically I'll go back and just kind of fiddle through them and look and see what I wrote 10 years ago or 20 years ago. Well, in this particular one, I wrote a dream. I wrote that my husband and I were driving in the country, and we came upon a little yellow and white house, and there was an elderly man. Is that
A storm warning or something.
what is that?
Set your phone?
Is it like an Amber Alert? Or
Yeah, they was on they were way down, all the way down.
where was that?
Well, we have the Charlottesville News, so it was somewhere out there. It says that they were last seen at Bobby's Way bus stop. It doesn't say what school, but the individual that kidnapped the 3 kids was driving a black Nissan Centera.
Is that anywhere near us? I don't really know that.
No, this was on the Charlottesville channel this morning.
And what was it? I'm so sorry.
There was 3 kids kidnapped, picked up at a bus stop.
Perhaps we could mute our phones and then.
Unless you leave it on for any.
Yeah, I did too, but that goes
They go
past.
past.
Does it go past
Yeah.
you?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Mine is on silent.
Right. All right. All right. So good luck. Okay. Morning pages. Writing. Do anybody write on a regular basis? Do you keep a journal or a diary or inspiring? Okay, Jasmine, good for you.
I make to-do lists.
To-do lists.
Something I
Yeah.
do as a manager every
Yeah.
day, what I need to accomplish that day.
I do too.
And
Just so
anything
don't
that came up.
forget.
Yeah. I know, right? I come across at the end of the day, it's like, oh, I was going to do those 5 things. Well, I did one of them. Anyway, but you know what? It's just like a vision board. You have to look at it. Has to be front and center and remind you of what you set your intention for, right? So I hope you'll adapt the habit of writing 3 pages. That's what Julia Cameron recommends, is 3 pages a day. And I don't care what it is. And some of my stuff was gibberish, but some of it, like the yellow house, there was an elderly man. He had a lot of squirrels as pets. He wanted us to buy his house, and he wanted us to take care of his pets, and he was dying. In this dream, I detailed it. I wrote everything in the morning pages book. Now, I look at it later on, guess what? I'm living in a yellow and white house with squirrels everywhere. The man and the woman that lived there have passed on. I mean, I think wow, back then, was my destiny somehow floating out there? I don't know, but it was just very interesting to see that. So morning pages, when you feel stuck, when you don't feel inspired, try writing, dumping on paper. And Julia Cameron, of course, sells lots of books, but one thing I like to get is the journal workbook, because it's got little quotes that are inspiring, and then I've got blank pages I can just word dump on. Okay. So the second thing that she recommends is going to go to a place. She calls it an artist date. Okay. It doesn't mean that you're going just to an art gallery or somewhere to see art. Okay, but we could go see your art, Alita. It means that you're going to go to a place by yourself that you've never been, preferably for like an hour. And if you're thinking, where would that be? I mean, it could be anywhere, a cafe, it could be going by the lake to a different picnic table with a different view. It could be going to an art gallery. So if you want some ideas about where to take yourself on an artist date, then think about looking online. There is a Bryn Donovan, who is a creative writer, and she has a list of over 100 artist dates. Also, some of Julia Cameron's books also list dozens and dozens of suggested artist dates. So I know that concept is a little foreign because we're doing for other people so much, but this is really fun and inspiring. And I've gotten some great dates with myself where I've gone to places that that was my favorite date, actually. I was like, I had a blast with myself. So, but it gives you that opportunity to really explore things that you've maybe not tried before. And the other thing is she inspires people to look at what makes you happy. So typically, what do you guys think is a formula for happiness? Probably read a lot of inspiring books. So I just want to hear from you. What makes you happy?
Well, I have to tell you about my husband. I did not bring him with me
He is always happy.
because he gets all the attention.
Yeah.
But Virginia is new to him.
Uh-huh.
And so when he came here, he went online and he got all of these only in Virginia. He's bound and determined to go to every single one of them.
To the
And we've
wineries
been
too,
to a
right?
lot, yeah, we've been to a
uh-huh.
lot of places,
Right.
that's only in Virginia.
That's our goal. We're going to do it with you all.
That's like I had have some friends, and she's part of a photography club, and their mission was to go all over Virginia and get photos of the love.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
all over
yeah,
the place.
that is awesome. Yeah, there are a lot of truck stops and rest stops throughout the state.
Yeah.
It's a nice goal. What about you, Peggy?
I get inspiration and joy from reading the Bible.
Awesome.
I get
All
up
right.
and I do, and I read the Bible and I get joy.
And you open up your mind to the joy and the happiness. That's great. So I love that. And other things that you do for happiness, for joy? All right,
For me,
Elizabeth.
it's music.
Yes, that's a beautiful one. I love it. And that's a great way to get inspired. And you can make a playlist for yourself that is inspirational music and listen to that when you're, because I want you to do it when you're planning, when you're using these worksheets. We're going to look at them a little bit briefly, but I want you to actually sit down by yourself and look at each question on the brainstorming questions and on the worksheet and play some music. Have a area, a creative space that you're not going to get interrupted, and make this about you and your goals, nobody else's. You might want to consult family and ask them, what do you think about me hiking the Appalachian Trail? That ain't gonna happen, okay? Or some crazy thing that you're thinking about doing. You might want to check in with family and friends, or you might not. Maybe you don't care about what they think. It's all about your vision board. And I think that's one of the beautiful things about getting older, is we just don't give a rip as much as we used to about what people think, and we don't have to people please as much. It's about us. So, all right. So let's look at you're looking at inspiration. You're gonna try to get inspiration from maybe something positive, like uplifting movies and music. Trying to stay away from all the news and the social media that can drag you down, and it can just really quelch your inspiration. trying to look at what your values clarification exercises that you can do that will really help you hone in on what's important to you. You know, maybe back in the day, it was important for me to put on a suit and, you know, get a raise. That's not important anymore. So things change and you want to reevaluate where your goals are. In fact, when I look at old vision boards, well, this isn't one of them, but I used to get kind of desperate, okay, about, this was a year that I did feel like it was a year after we moved here. I had some health issues. I was just like, oh gosh, I've got to take control of my life. So I did an outer vision board and then an inner, you know, like this is what I want to work on myself and this is important to me. So, you know, it was just being creative about how you do it. I also like to do these cute little embellishments, you know. You can get at Hobby Lobby, at Michael's.
You can get them at
Dollar Tree. I love it. That's where I got a bunch of them for this year. Yeah. So I haven't put them on here yet. But anyway, they're 3D stickers, things like that that you can glue on. I love playing with that. But you want to gather all your supplies, and that's why we have the workshop scheduled for January 16th. That gives you a chance to be thoughtful, intentional, set your goals, set your dreams, your hopes, and then gather your cute little embellishments and your pictures. Trish brought a bunch of magazines today, and I brought a few. We are going to have magazines and poster boards. Maybe you want something like a wooden board, you know. We're going to have all that January 16th for you if you want to come and bring your special things. Like this, last year I did this one on a board. I thought that was kind of neat. Look at what kind of supplies you're going to need and go to Dollar Tree because a lot of it came from the Dollar Tree. I like to save money, and I'm happy that we have a Dollar Tree now.
Yeah, everything's $1.25. It used to be $1,
Yeah, I know.
now it's all
That's a bummer.
$1.25.
That is really a bummer, yeah. I know, maybe some will go down, but I doubt it. So you don't want to glue anything until you've kind of figured out your layout. I'm just a collage kind of girl, so I don't really make it neat, but some people really like their vision boards to be organized into categories. You can look at things like health and wellness, personal growth and knowledge, social and relationships, spiritual and service, cognition and is different from, or your behavioral things and psychological things, different from your emotional well-being, which is more your feelings and your moods. Looking at stability, home, finances, and you know, most important, I think, just having that balance. Kind of envision if you're like a table and you have 6 legs and one's missing, you're not stable. So you really want to kind of focus on all those different areas of your life. Oh, look, this is a board. I like to reuse poster boards, so Go Colin Go was when my grandson was in a race, but look. So as another way, if you're very organized and you like to have categories and keep things where they belong, this is another way you could do it. It's just dividing it up. We've got health, work, family and home, love and self-care, very important. Whoops, there goes. Personal development, spirituality, travel, skills, knowledge, finances, fun and recreation. I think that's my favorite right there. And then social, my second favorite. All right. So however you do it, like I said, it's your board and you get to choose, probably right side up, okay? You get to choose what's important to you, set your intentions, and take the time to be reflective about it. All right, so at this point, I want to have you look at your worksheets. There's 2. Let's look at the brainstorming questions first. And if you all would indulge me, I'd like to have each of you read one of those. So we're going to take turns reading. If you don't feel comfortable reading, you don't have to. I'm not going to force you. But let's look at the ones with the brainstorming questions first. Okay? I'll start. What do you value most in your life? And again, that can change from period of your life to period of your life. But today, what do you value most in your life? I'm going to say my husband's health because he's hitting some, road bumps. So right now, that's really important to get him healthy. All right, who wants to go next? Trish, go.
Well, mine's the same as yours with Jim. And, oh, read the next one, don't answer the same one, is that what you're asking?
Yeah, read the next
Oh,
one, but
okay.
that's okay, I mean, say, you're welcome to share it, yeah.
What character traits do you want to improve on?
But you're perfect already, so you don't really need to.
Oh, please. If you saw my cluttered house and my disorganization,
Well,
which is
you know.
what I would want to improve on, because the chaos in the house makes me chaotic in my
Right,
brain.
right, and it does, it stresses us out, right?
Yeah.
So decluttering, what was that? That was on mine last year. I didn't meet that goal, but still working on it. Yeah.
Well, mine's been
LOWLINC
years
has
in progress.
LOWLINC has helped, they have decluttering projects, you know, so. All right, thank you. All right, Alita?
What would you be doing if you were not afraid?
Yeah, that's an important one.
Yeah.
Because we do fear-based, a lot of that extrinsic. We're fear of getting sick, we're afraid of losing things, losing people, so, yeah. But what would you do?
That's a hard one.
It is. And you can think in terms of what's been holding you back, what barriers have made you stop, you know, and that negative thinking it's a slippery slope to depression. So you have to catch yourself if you're thinking things like, no, that wouldn't work, yeah, and talking yourself out of things, then that's a really dangerous mindset. So you want to be looking at, I can do it, anything's possible, I got this. That kind of attitude is going to get you a lot closer to being successful in reaching your goals. All right, Elizabeth, you want to go to the next one?
What relationships would you like to work on improving?
All right, we do have some control over that. Not the other people, but certainly how we interact with them and how we're nurturing positive relationships. Marty, you want to go next?
What would make you feel proud of yourself?
Yeah. Isn't that a good feeling when you are fearful and then you jump in there and you try something and then you actually do it? Maybe it's not perfect because you're a beginner, but you did it. And so you can just, feel really proud of yourself. And that is one of the keys Julia Cameron talks about with happiness is try something new that is out of your comfort zone. Okay? Thank you. All right, Elaine, you want to go next?
What brings you joy?
Yeah. You want to share what brings you joy?
Peace,
Peace. Yeah.
music.
Okay. Your boat, don't you have a boat?
Pardon?
Do you have a boat? Don't you have
Yes.
a boat?
Oh, yeah, love the boat. Yeah, love the water.
That would bring me a lot of peace right there. All right, all right, Peggy, you want to go next?
What brings you peace and calm?
All right. Do you want to share what brings you peace and calm? You said the Bible, reading the Bible. Anything else?
Being with my children and grandchildren.
Ah, nice. All right. All right.
Okay. What are some places you want to visit in 2025?
Yeah.
Ireland.
Where are we
I'd like
going?
to go to Ireland. I have friends that ride in Ireland, and that's a goal. I don't know if it'll be 2025, but
Yeah,
that would be good.
And that's another good point is sometimes it won't happen because you get waylaid with things, but you can always rip it off of this board and stick it on your next year. And I've done that before, and that's perfectly okay. All right, Margaret.
How well are you caring for yourself? What self-care do you need? Well, I have to confess I'm going through some stressful times right now with this news.
Right.
It's been bad. I've already been to the hospital for Thanksgiving.
My husband and Margaret were both in the hospital at the same time on Thanksgiving. That is not what we had planned for our Thanksgiving.
No. Well, I did see.
And you too, right? Yeah.
A local doctor, and she was wonderful.
Oh, that's good.
We're doing some natural things.
Awesome.
And the only drug that I'm taking, prescription drug, is for high blood pressure.
Yeah.
That's the thing that's really messing me up.
Right, but that's pretty good if you're only on one
Yeah, it's only
prescription mode. And You're doing a lot
Rest
right.
of it
You're going to
is
yoga.
Natural, yes.
Also, your drawing class that you're
Yeah,
taking.
I'm taking
and
the
you're
drawing
so
class.
talented. Yeah.
Hmm.
You ought to get with Alita because she's an artist right in front of
Uh,
you. Yeah. So great. So I
Been nominated.
I truly believe in, loving yourself first. I know it's not selfish. If you put your own oxygen on first, you're going to help other people. You're going to be much more useful to others that you care about. So definitely do some good self-care. And if you get off track, think about what you can put back into your routine, your schedule. I mean, routines are really helpful as long as it's not a rut that is unhealthy. So think about what you can put on your daily routine from the time you get up to the time you go to bed that can help you with self-care. I hope it's every single day you do something. All right, so let's go with Emily. Oh no, how about you? You're on the same row. It's just everybody funky.
How could your living environment be enhanced for your benefit?
Okay. And that kind of goes along with the decluttering that Trish and I want to do, right? Trying to look at how we can make our environment more peaceful, more calming. What about you?
With your house is already organized, right?
Well, my house, we built it when we were both fairly old, it's 10 years ago now, so we did get the no-step entries, the wide doorways, the grab bag, the grabs. So, but you can still do other things, like take off this rugs that are slippery, etc. So I've done all that already, but I'm sure there's something else I could do.
Right. Well, that's good to keep thinking about it and keep looking because things can change, that you didn't notice before as being a safety hazard until you slip or, that's scary. But we don't want to fall, right? None of us want to fall. Okay. All right, so I'll mark it. Next.
How could you improve your finances? I could probably give up vegetable gardening.
Not buy so much dirt.
Quit buying things that won't grow.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm sure there's all kinds of ways we can look at kind of fine tuning our budget, right? And looking at things we don't need, and even that comes into giving, like how can you better serve not only your family, but the community as well. So decluttering, great way to do that. Reusing, recycling, recycle, getting things out of your house that you don't need that others might.
Stay away from Amazon.
I know, right? Amazon is evil, I know.
It is.
It's always coming up to my house. So anyway, just look at your budget for the coming year and see if there's something you can eliminate. We have a lot of subscriptions right now going on, and when we looked at how many, our bank will actually list them, and we're like, holy, how did we get so many little $6.99 charges and $3.99s? And a lot of them are apps that we don't even use anymore. In fact, I'm still paying for Weight Watchers, and I am not even tracking my points, so I
don't suggest that everybody do this, but I moved from state to state, and I gave stuff to the thrift stores, and I got rid of a lot of stuff.
Isn't that freeing? I bet that was a really good feeling. And we did the same
But
thing.
now we were looking for this certain things now that we got rid
Right,
of.
I know. If I could find my rice cooker, I'd be very happy, but my husband did get a huge climate-controlled storage unit, and that's kind of like a thorn in my side right now.
Ooh,
Trying to get there and let's go visit it, Ted. And he was like, yeah, not today, but we'll go. It's too cold today. So anyway, that's definitely on my vision board, is getting rid of that storage unit. And, it's obviously things we haven't needed because we've been here going on 4 years. It'll be in July, so crazy. Okay, so would you like to do the next one?
What does your future self look like and feel like? Ooh, I have no idea.
You're going to have to close your eyes and really envision and use your 5 senses and think about, what do you look like? What do you feel like?
We just want to get through today.
One day at a time.
But visualization is key. And when you do that visualization, I really invite you to look at it wholeheartedly, like details, like what outfit are you wearing? Where are you? What's good about your life in 2025? What do you have control over? Because we don't have control over everything, for sure, we don't. But there's some things we can definitely positively impact. All right, Miss Emily?
Are there new habits you want to develop? I want to create more time to read.
Oh, yeah.
I love the book group I'm in, and I'm always, like the day before it's due, discussion, I'm still finishing it.
Read all
so
night.
I need to look at my time distribution a little
Right,
bit more.
right. And that's self-care, it sounds like, for you, is the reading. So
Yeah,
good.
I love to read the books.
Awesome.
I think that-
I wasn't reading like I would love to, and I put it on the calendar. Tuesday, I was gonna read at 10 o'clock, and that started me back.
Oh, that's nice. So you developed a habit of 10 o'clock was your reading time.
Just put it on the calendar.
How long would you read for, Peggy?
Oh, gosh, 2 hours, and then I feel guilty. And, yeah.
2 hours of doing something you enjoy is not anything to feel guilty about. More of that, more of that. Okay, so,
How could you serve or help your family, friends, and community?
become a LOWLINC volunteer. I've enjoyed it tremendously. I met a bunch of you guys through LOWLINC, and, you know, it's just very rewarding to see, oh, God, there's so many good people that live here in Lake of the Woods.
It's also very nice to give this stuff for you, happening for you, so.
Right,
So,
right.
very nice, because you become people that you recognize and so.
Oh, definitely. You feel safer too, knowing that LOWLINC is there, and it's a great resource to call on, so great, wonderful. All right, so let me see how much time is. Over a little bit. Okay, sorry. Let me just make sure I covered all the key points. Okay. Yeah, just be realistic. Okay, that's one thing. Don't put things on your board that are never going to happen. You know, win the lottery. I want to be tall and sexy. Okay, I'm not going to be tall and sexy, but I can be short and cute, and that's me.
And that's good enough for
Thanks.
us.
I think it's good enough for me now. You know. All right. So just look into what you already have on your calendar for 2025. Maybe there's weddings, planned trips.
Doctor's
surgeries,
appointments.
doctor's appointments, that kind of stuff. You might as well go ahead and put it on your board. It's there and it's going to happen. Okay. Yeah. So then, after you gather all your supplies and you've taken the time to really be thoughtful about what you want for the coming year, it's time to start gluing and decorating and make sure you place your vision board where you're going to see it every day. Some people put it in their office. That's where I keep mine, right in front of my computer, or I might put one in the bedroom as well. So depends on what your vision board has on it. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, Ted likes the vision boards. Yeah, won't go into that. But as a social worker, I had a lot of good trainings, and he took advantage of those. All right. So thank you for your time and attention. And now it's time to have fun with singing with Elizabeth.
Okay, we're going to start right at the beginning of the booklet and go right through. At about the midway point, when we get to Good King Wenceslas, you will sing the first verse, and you'll listen to these two. Do several verses, and then we'll all come in on the final verse. So you have a bit of a rest period in the middle, okay?
We don't even have to know how to read music, huh?
I'm sorry,
We don't have to know how to read music.
One second. So we'll start with Deck the Halls. Deck the halls with boughs of holly, la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be jolly, la 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 la. Don we now our gay apparel, la 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 la. Troll the ancient Yuletide carol, la 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 la. Sing the blazing Yule before us, la 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 la
I'm sure can sing harmony on this silent night. Don't be afraid to.
I'll sing you a bass line.
I'll sing the alto.
I'll sing whatever I feel like.
Sing the notes I can reach.
Yeah. Up the tempo now. We don't have to really request snow, but
If it's gonna be this cold, it just needs to snow, because I wouldn't go out in it anyway.
The person that just moved here from Florida, you get snow here. We lived in Florida, and when it got down to 65 degrees, everybody got their winter coats on.
Yeah, exactly.
I would love 65.
I would too.
okay.